Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Kind of got my voice back, but still a lot of coughing and pretty raspy, so try not to talk too much. So I have to kind of limit how many readings I'm doing a day. Keep my mouth shut for a change. Anyway, Brenda, you know how this works, but I'm going to explain real quick. For your dad, I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. I try to describe the picture the best that I can. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, just keep it in mind, because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, oh, I know what she's talking about. It's not an exact science. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. They won't give me all the details. They'll give me just enough so you should understand what she's talking about. It's their show. Within reason, I let them do whatever and say whatever they want because they know best, and I can't control it. Well, within reason, it's they know best. So we're going to talk to Anne today. She's coming in with this very sweet, loving energy, very, very calm, very peaceful, very patient, very patient. But she's waiting. She's waiting for something, but she's very patient. In the clouds, something in the clouds. I don't know if she's talking about the clouds themselves. Sometimes they're kind of vague about what they say, but we'll see. I don't know if you've been watching the clouds, you've seen something in the clouds that you question, maybe not question, but you thought was real, or you thought you saw something. And you can see things in the clouds. Sometimes they'll have a shape there. I mean, people say, oh, it looks like a dog, or it looks like an owl, or something about in the clouds. So just might pay a little more. Well, we've got lots of clouds today. I don't know where you live, but I know where Brenda lives. It's raining and cloudy here today. Not those kind of clouds. We're talking about the white puppy clouds, basically. Uh-oh, I'm hearing Toto. Do you live in Kansas too? Yeah, it's that time of year for us in Kansas. Very patient. She keeps saying very patient, very patient. Take your time. Very patient. Somebody's scared and yet not scared. Not on her end, somebody here. She has no fear at all. None. Zero. Somebody here has a lot of fear, but still they're very patient. It's not, how do I describe this? I've never really felt it this way. Fear about changing, fear about the next step, fear about, and yet very patient, very calm, about peaceful about that next step. Okay, she's shy. See, this is more like something that would be in my head, so it may be hard to explain to somebody who doesn't understand this stuff, but she's got like a rope tied on somebody here. And she's got it tight, but she's not pulling on it. But there is that, she's calling it a lifeline. There's a lifeline to somebody here. She has a hold of it. I've got this. Hang on. There's somebody walking behind her. Okay, it's Brandon, but it's not his time to speak, but he's making himself known. He's kind of back behind her, and he's just kind of tooling along, just walking along. He waves at me as he kind of gets partway through, and she's over here. He's going, let's see if there's a reason for this, or if he's just showing himself. He could be, but he's not going to step forward. It's not his time to step forward. Okay, he goes kind of off in the distance to my left and just kind of stands there like, but this is the center of attention, so he doesn't want to take away from that. So he's going over here, but he's making his presence known in a very calm, very slow, very peaceful way. Very loving. Man, I don't know if it's because I'm so mellow or everybody's mellow. And I do apologize for this taking for so long. I lost my voice last week. It was a blessing to my house. So I'm just getting it back. So that's put me even further behind. But there's always a reason for whenever a reading's held up. There's always some kind of reason. Okay, Anne says, and she's talking to Brenda right now, that sometimes you feel this overwhelming sense of love and peace. And if you feel it, there's probably not even this many times where they brought me the total feeling of it, and it just kind of drops down over you like a cloud. And the feeling is so beautiful, you just want to cry. It's something that we don't open up to here, or maybe we can't feel it in that way here. But your mom is trying to bring you that feeling. So when you get, it's just an overwhelming feeling of love. So you're crying happy tears, kind of. So when you feel that, know that that's your mom bringing that to you. Validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more. And she brings it to Mike too. He feels an overwhelming sense of peace and love, at least at that time when she brings that. He's seen her in his dreams. And he's talking to her, not just in his dreams. You can talk to him. I promise you 1,000%. They can hear you. They can see you. You don't have to talk out loud. You can talk up here. They can hear you. I've talked to a real live person in front of me telepathically. It is a real thing. They can hear you. So, okay, she wants to go back to the dream. So, Mike has dreamed of being with her up there. I'm not so sure that was a dream because I've been taken up there and I'm only allowed to go so far. But Bob took me there and he took me close. So when, I don't know how to explain this, especially somebody that doesn't know about this stuff. There's a difference between a dream and a visitation. A dream starts to dissipate 30 seconds after you open your eyes. A true visitation, you remember every smell, every word, Mine was probably at least 8 years ago. Remember every picture on the wall, everything that was said, how it happened. That's a true visitation when they literally come down here and visit you. And they don't happen a lot, and I don't know if it's, I don't know the reason for it. But this is going the other way. You were actually, your soul, your spirit was actually there with her, which, like I said, I've done that. So I can't really, I don't know what the word is for it. Visitation is when they come to us. I don't know if you call it a visitation when you go visit them, but it does happen. I hear when we're allowed. They have, okay, they allow us to do that, and it doesn't happen very often. Anyway, okay, so know that that was real. Okay, Mike, sometimes when you're, well, she's showing you kicked back in a recliner, taking a nap, dozing off, or at least extremely relaxed, maybe almost dozed off. And she's stroking your hair. She's stroking your head. Show me again. She's standing behind you and she's stroking your head. So know when you feel that tickle, it might be a warmth. When they get close to me, my head itches like I have bugs all over it, like I got head lice or something. I don't know why. I hate it. You could feel just a little pressure, like if somebody put a tea towel on your head, just very light pressure. Sometimes if they really want your attention, like one time I got stuck 3 times in the chest like somebody took a pin and unless somebody had a voodoo doll. I'm just joking. Because they were trying really hard to get my attention and I wasn't paying attention. So if they do something and it kind of hurts, let them know, because sometimes they don't realize that they use their energy too strong and that it hurts, and just go, hey, that's a little too strong, that hurt. Do a little easier. So know that when you feel that like something's moving across your head, validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more signs if you want more signs. Something about the beautiful music. She's not talking about on the radio. She's pointing way out in the distance. Way out. I don't know if it's when you visited her. I think there's a word for that. I don't know what it is. Anyway, when you visited her, you heard the angel music way off in the distance. And that's about as close. I've gotten close to it 2 or 3 times. It's something you cannot describe. It's not like listening to a beautiful song on the radio. I can't describe it. There's nothing like it. It's just beautiful and full of love. So I don't know if it was when you visited her, probably in your dream, but you weren't really dreaming. I don't know if it's like a teletransporter. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. Too many big words. So anyway, you're going to hear this music again. And she's not really explaining. Like I said, it's her show. But it's almost like you're in La La Land. You're in dream world, or you don't even have to be asleep to hear it. Just way off in the distance, and you hear something music that you can't describe. She's just really. So Again, validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her. Let her know that you know what that is. Once you acknowledge, admit that you know that that's them, that kind of opens a floodgate and kind of go, he gets it. He gets it. We can bring more. Now that I know he understands this is from me, and she says from them too. So she's talking about angels. You have angels, you have guides. Talk to them all you want to. People think angels, they're too, archangels. I work with the archangels. People go, oh, they're too busy. They don't have time to come down and talk to us. They're a multi-dimensional being. They're not like a human stuck with a clock and a calendar. They can be multi-places at once. They are there to help. If you're going to go to the higher-ups. Talk to them. You don't have to talk out loud. Nobody has to know you're talking to them. She says praying to them is the same thing. But you can talk to him just like Uncle George sitting next to you. You can talk to him. Tell him your fears. She said, tell him your fears. Ask them to bring you peace. She says they know their job. You don't have to know their name. All you have to do is ask. They cannot override your free will choice. Nobody up there can override your free will choice. Only like in an emergency once in a great while you see somebody goes, felt like the steering wheel was ripped out of my hand. I was going to have a head-on collision and my steering wheel just got jerked. Something like that, yes, they do. But that's very rare. We have free will choice. My guides are up there all the time going, oh, Rhonda, you're making those dumb mistakes. We gave you all this beautiful stuff and you're going over here and messing it up. Because I have free will choice. I can go, no, I don't want that. Let's go over here and do something dumb. So, just while you're sitting there in that chair, just talk to them. The appropriate guide or angel will step forward. You do not have to know which one it is. Don't need to know their name. Just trust it. Trust her to make sure that nothing else would come through. And when you're dealing with the heavens and archangels and angels and guides, there is nothing bad that can come through. There is no dark, bad stuff that would come through. She says, you're still beautiful, Mike. Handsome. But she says she wants to use the word beautiful because it's not just about your face, your body. It's about everything inside. It's about all of you that is beautiful. Handsome is more the outside look. Okay, she wants me to explain. This is our car to drive, our vehicle to drive while we're here on Earth. When we no longer need this, the same spirit, the same soul, your soul is pure energy. It's energy. That continues on, and it carries the love, because it's all about love. Love is the highest vibration there is. Love is what the heavens and the angels and whatever are striving for everybody to find. We just struggle with it here when we have this heavy body. So once we're done with this heavy body, we still have the same spirit, the same soul. We still have the same love. We still have the same love for the people around us. We still have the same group, pretty much. So she says we don't get lost. Okay, now she's mentioning grandma. Grandma. I don't, okay, see if I can get her to specify which grandma. I feel like it's her grandma that is there with her, that was there waiting for her, that is very strong in her presence. And there's a lot of love between them because we carry that love vibration in our spirit and our soul. And Grandma loves you too. She said something about your mom, and then I saw a question mark. I don't know what that means. But anything she says within reason, I will pass along. Sometimes they just throw words or names out. Well, we stink at names. Don't know why. You're beautiful just the way you are. Don't think you have to change at the end to go to the right place. Well, she's saying the same thing I believe. There is no hell. There is no judgment. People can be the worst people here on earth, and they're not judged when they go up there. I've not seen it in my experience. When we get there, I say we're peeled like an onion, peel all the layers of this heavy world, the regrets, the bad words we said to somebody, how we hurt somebody, some of the bad deeds we did, the anger, all the heavy, negative, dark energy that we kind of hold on to and don't let go of. That's peeled off of us and we're cleansed. Because the whole purpose is to go back to the love energy, the light, the bright, the vibrating high. So I've seen people who are afraid to cross over because they're afraid of the punishment. That's what we're taught. I've never seen anybody punished. They are surrounded. I'm going to start crying. I want to cry. We are surrounded with unconditional love. Forgiven. There is no fire and brimstone that I've seen. Everybody is forgiven. Nobody is judged. That's what we're taught here on earth. No. I've seen people not want to leave, hang on forever. And I'm not saying you're leaving. Don't get me wrong. But I've seen people hang on because they're afraid of the judgment. They're afraid of the fire and the brimstone. No. They say people who left like Brandon, they're going to hell. No, they don't. I've talked to many of them. We're healed. We're cleansed. And she says it's all about happy family reunion. There will be a big family reunion. And there, okay, there's that grandma again. Okay, so they're just showing me many silhouettes, many silhouettes. And when they do that, it's just like a blank figure. It's because they just want me to know that there's many waiting, but they're just not really significant to bring forward at this time to know who they are, except for this grandma, which I felt was her grandma. But don't hold me that to 100%. The little lady next door can feel more like a grandma than your blood grandmother clear across the country. So I always throw that in there and I got a lot of people call me grandma that aren't mine. She says you feel some fear, but you feel a lot of peace. And that's what they're bringing you. And there is a large, beautiful angel standing behind you at all times. And ask him. Ask him. I ask Archangel Michael to stand behind me every morning. I want his wingtips to touch my shoulders. I want him to have my back. I don't even have to ask anymore. He's just there because I ask him to. Archangel Michael is more like the protector. Archangel Raphael is the healing archangel. You don't have to go to church to believe that. You don't have to set foot in a church. God, or whatever you want to call him, does not live in those four walls under that roof. Archangels do not live in those four walls or under that roof. I hear that's where a lot of judgment comes from. Sorry, whatever you believe, but that's what they're telling me. And I always say, talk about God. You can call him anything you want to. There is a higher power. There is a source. You can call him George. Don't care what you call it. It's there. It is there. But it's also in that tree. It's in my dog out there. It's in the grass. It's in the birds. That God-like energy is everything. She says she loves you very much. You have or you will feel her presence when you're laying in your bed. You might feel, like when somebody sits on something, how it pushes down. You might feel the bed push down. You could feel something jiggle. I'm not sure how you're going to feel it. Everybody feels it different. So I don't know exactly for sure how you're going to feel it, but she's showing it more like it's like I say 1,000 times. You know when somebody walks into the room, you don't hear them, you don't see them, but you feel them, and you turn around and go, somebody's here. You just feel the presence. You feel, and you're not creeped out about it. It brings you a sense of peace because that's what she's bringing you, is a sense of love and peace. Whether you know it or not, that's what she's bringing to you. And that angel is still there. But they're always there. We just don't know it. She's not giving me a lot of validation that it's her, so I hope. I usually ask them to bring at least 2 or 3 things so you know absolutely for sure that it's whoever you ask to talk to. But she's talking about hair. Hair? Whose hair? Your hair. She's talking about your hair. Something about your hair. Something happened to your hair lately, or done something different with your hair, or your hair's fallen out, or I don't. She's just saying something about your hair. She's trying to validate that she knows something that's kind of recently, maybe not in the last week, but just very recently has happened. I keep asking her, we need a little more validation and that it's you, but she just feels like you will know that what's being said is coming from her. You will know that she's around you. You will just know. You've already been given indications that maybe you just don't believe it, and it's harder for us older generation. I don't know how old you are. It's harder for us to accept that these things are real because we've always been taught, you can't have an imaginary friend. You can't see people. It's evil. It's blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. It's full of love and light and helpful things. So it's easier. It's harder for us older people to get rid of the things that we were taught, that this can't be true, that this can't be real. So, and I fought that really hard when I first started this. The old what I was taught. She says you're just going to know. You may question it, but you're just going to know. She says you already know. Just let go of what you were taught before. It was more of a control thing that they taught all of us, that you can't talk to them, you can't talk to the angels, you can't do this, you can't hear them, you can't see them, you can't smell them. You're going to be smelling chocolate chip cookies. I don't know if she used to make those for you all the time, but that smell, like when they first come out of the oven, you'll get a whiff of it. You can be in the store, you can be in your car, you can be in the house. It doesn't matter where you're at. For 2 weeks one time, every single morning when I woke up, I smelled chocolate chip cookies. It was like, I never could associate it with, I didn't know who was here, but they were bringing me that smell, trying to get my attention, but I never associated it with anybody, so it finally quit. So no, when you smell that, it doesn't count if you're going through a bakery, or you just pull them out of the oven yourself. It's the spur of the moment. And validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more signs if you want more signs, and you don't have to say it out loud. She loves you very much, and she's so full of peace and patience. She says peace and patience and love. Love is just a no-brainer. She said she'll be waiting. She said it's nothing but beauty. Nothing but beauty here. But not yet. Not yet. She says let it play out. Not yet. Okay, she got real quiet. I'm just feeling a whole lot of love vibrating around. And I could use a little bit of it myself. Okay, with that, she's going to leave. So, like I said, talk to her all you want to. Talk to your angels all you want to. Ask them to bring you peace. Ask them to bring you clarity. Ask them to bring you love. That's what they're there for. You're not disturbing them. It's their job. Okay, much love to you, my dear. Thank you all for being so patient through me. Got a little behind and then lost my voice for darn near a week. And, okay. See you all later. Much love to you, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Kind of got it back. Later.